First responders rushed to a fire inside a parking garage. Then one of the officers ends up in cuffs. So what's going on? As Jim Murray reports, authorities say he's a fake cop.
4 o'clock in the morning. Across Texas, the silence of a Tuesday night collapsed in an instant. Flashbangs lit up suburban streets. Battering rams shattered door frames. Voices barked commands in English and Spanish. 200 ICE agents struck 47 locations at the exact same moment, a wave so synchronized that Cartel safe houses had no time to warn each other. By sunrise, one of the most powerful cartel leaders in the world was dragged from his mansion in handcuffs. Officials called it the largest cartel takedown in Texas history, but this was not a ragtag gang. Agents uncovered what looked like a shadow corporation, a $50 million empire with close to 500 operatives. Job titles mirrored the corporate world: human resources officers recruiting new couriers, logistics planners mapping distribution routes, accountants laundering profits through shell businesses. Suburban warehouses doubled as distribution centers, indistinguishable from Amazon delivery hubs, until investigators pried open hidden compartments stuffed with narcotics. Yet money and manpower were not the most shocking discovery. It was deception. Cartel crews had been masquerading as law enforcement.
Red and blue lights flashed along highways as what appeared to be police cruisers pulled over trucks. Uniformed men stepped out, radios squawking, badges glinting. To the untrained eye, nothing seemed amiss.
But these were criminals cloaked in authority. The indictments unsealed in August 2025 revealed staggering details. 12 vehicles had been outfitted to resemble patrol cars, complete with light bars, decals, and scanners tuned to encrypted police frequencies. More than 50 counterfeit badges and uniforms were seized, many manufactured with authentic-grade materials. Inside storage units, agents found radio manuals rewritten with step-by-step instructions on how to impersonate real dispatchers. And alongside the props, the real poison: 200 pounds of fentanyl and 150 pounds of cocaine. By expert calculation, the fentanyl alone could create millions of potentially lethal doses. Why Texas? Investigators say geography and psychology played equal roles. As a border state, Texas already hosts dense networks of checkpoints, patrols, and federal agents. In that environment, seeing flashing lights or marked cruisers is routine. Cartel strategists exploited this normalcy. They understood that the more familiar the uniform, the less likely anyone would question it. In sprawling highways and small desert towns, imposters could blend seamlessly, waving shipments past suspicious eyes. Court records show recruits weren't picked randomly. Some had prior security guard jobs or military experience. They were trained in traffic stop protocols, taught the right radio codes, even drilled on posture, how to hold a flashlight, how to stand beside a driver's window. Fake paperwork was printed to mimic citations or cargo manifests. This was not theater. It was a professionalized curriculum of deception.
The dangers are chilling. First, the public. Ordinary truckers, immigrants, families driving home at night.
A flashing light in the rearview mirror could mean safety, or it could mean criminals using fear as their weapon. Second, the real police. If officers hesitate to trust a fellow uniform, that split-second doubt can prove fatal.
Law enforcement thrives on absolute certainty, and this operation deliberately corroded that certainty.
At press briefings, ICE officials called this a direct attack on public trust. Local police chiefs echoed the alarm. Departments across Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico began rolling out emergency measures, digital verification codes on officer IDs, QR-linked badges, encrypted radios with traceable signals. One commander warned bluntly, "If criminals can copy our look, then technology must guarantee our identity." Prosecutors did not hold back. The suspects now face charges ranging from impersonating federal officers to trafficking controlled substances to conspiracy under RICO statutes. Stacked together, these crimes could mean life sentences. Federal attorneys emphasized that these were not symbolic charges. They were designed to send a message. Hijacking the image of law enforcement is not just fraud, it is an assault on the rule of law itself. But legal consequences are only half the story. The deeper wound is psychological. Communities function on a fragile pact. When police lights flash, citizens comply instantly. Compliance, in turn, depends on trust. Break that trust, and the system trembles. Already, advocacy groups report rising anxiety. Parents ask, "Should I pull over at night if I'm unsure?"
Truckers whisper stories of fake checkpoints. Every hesitation weakens safety, yet every blind compliance risks exploitation. It is a trap with no easy escape. The revelations have sparked debate in Washington. Some lawmakers push for federal funds to outfit every patrol car with GPS-verified ID systems, scannable in real time. Others warn about privacy concerns and overreach. Legal scholars suggest harsher sentencing enhancements when impersonation is tied to narcotics trafficking. Civil rights groups, meanwhile, argue that citizens need clear, accessible ways to verify stops, not just technology in the hands of police. The debate is fierce because the stakes are not abstract. They play out every night on dark highways where real and fake lights blur together. Experts warn that what ICE dismantled was not an isolated trick. Evidence suggests cartels have industrialized deception, building recruitment pipelines, training manuals, and supply chains for fake equipment. In effect, impersonation became a business model, one that lowered risks, boosted shipments, and weaponized public obedience. What looks like a cruiser on a highway may be, in fact, a revenue stream for organized crime. As the dust settled, the images were stark. Rows of counterfeit uniforms stretched across evidence tables, fake badges stacked like poker chips, police cruisers stripped of their disguise. Yet behind every artifact lies a deeper question. 4 o'clock in the morning, when lights blaze in your mirror, who do you trust? ICE may have dismantled this network, but the warning lingers. When criminals can wear the badge and drive the cruiser, how can a community know who truly protects them? And if the very symbols of justice can be forged, how does America defend trust itself? The story you've just heard is more than a headline. It's a reminder of how fragile trust can be when the badge itself is compromised. Counterfeit uniforms, fake radios, staged patrol cars, these are not props from a movie. They were tools in the hands of criminals, designed to confuse communities and endanger lives. That is why sharing these facts matters. When we talk about protecting neighborhoods, we're not only talking about fences or checkpoints, we're talking about knowledge. Every viewer who understands the risks of impersonation, every citizen who knows how to verify an officer's identity becomes part of a safety net, and that safety net is strongest when information spreads. So we ask you, share this report, post it on your feed, discuss it with your family, and bring it to your community. The more people know, the fewer opportunities criminals have to exploit fear and confusion. And don't stop there. Subscribe to this channel, because investigations like this do not end with one raid or one headline. We will continue to track the supply chains, the policies, and the reforms that shape how law enforcement operates and how communities respond. By staying connected, you ensure that you're not just reacting to events, but preparing for what comes next. Remember this: protecting the truth behind a badge is not the job of one agency, one state, or one newsroom. It is a responsibility we share as neighbors, as citizens, as a society that values both safety and justice. So hit that like button, subscribe, share this story, and join the discussion below, because silence leaves room for deception, but awareness builds resilience.